There are too many people in here. 27 countries. We only need 4. Myself, Wilson, George, and Orlando should stay. Everyone else out.
Grazie per averne incluso il quattro.
Alright, let's get down to business. Now that the war is over, we need to start preparing to rebuild Europe. Let me read you a little summary of my proposal. I call it the 14 points. Here are the principles that we should base the negotiations on. Ending secret treaties and diplomacies, ensuring the freedom of seas, maintaining fair international trade, reducing armaments and readjusting colonies, evacuating all occupied territories, allowing all nations self-determination, redrawing political boundaries, and forming an international peacekeeping organization.
Excellent plan, my friend. Except for the part about freedom of the seas, Britain must retain her naval dominance at all costs.
Well, we can discuss that later.
I agree. We should deal with Germany first. They must be punished for the crimes they have committed. Then we can talk about forgiveness and rebuilding.
Yes. What are we going to do about Germany? What do we have to restore the balance of power.
Excuse me, but where are the delegates from Russia and the Central Powers? Shouldn't they be present during negotiations?
No, they're not invited to the conference. This is for victorious countries only. And Russia hasn't been our ally since they signed the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk with Germany. We'll summon them when the negotiations are over.
How dare they force us to sign that treaty? We had no say in the provisions. Germany cannot accept that diktat. Those horrible allies. We will never forgive them.
I don't think that's a good idea, Mr. George. We want a lasting peace, not cause for future war.
Well, we must be sure that Germany can never become a threat again. If they're present at the peace table, it sends a wrong message that they're equal to us.
We demand revenge for Germany's atrocities. They must pay for what they did to France.
Britain agrees with France. We want restrictions placed upon the German Empire. She's a threat to our naval power.
What exactly did you have in mind, Mr. Clemenceau?
Protection from Germany. We are the only country that shares a border with them, and we must have safety.
I think it would be reasonable to limit the German army. Write that down, Secretary.
German army limited to 100,000 troops. No poison gas, air force, or tanks permitted.
And we should restrict their navy.
No submarines. Limited naval vessels.
And I want a buffer state between France and Germany.
Well, we won't make a buffer state, but we can demilitarize the Rhineland. That should prevent German invasion of France.
Rhineland to be occupied by allies for a period of 15 years. No German military presence allowed.
Yeah.
Nazi Germany needs Lebensraum. We will not be stopped by the League of Nations. We will remilitarize the Rhineland.
Britain wants to ensure that Germany loses her overseas colonial empire. The colonies should be distributed among the victorious countries.
All of Germany's overseas colonies to be controlled by the Allies in the form of mandates.
Yeah.
We want autonomy now. We will revolt against our oppressors. All they care about is their own interests. Well, I think we should be careful in how we construct this treaty. We want lasting peace, not resentment among countries. If we're too harsh on Germany, then we risk losing their support in the future.
Nonsense! We cannot allow another German attack. We must restore the balance of power.
What exactly do you propose? Aren't the reparations enough to weaken the German threat?
Reparations will only affect them in the short term. Germany must relinquish Alsace-Lorraine to France, and we must have control of the Saar. No compromise is acceptable.
Very well. This seems reasonable, seeing as Alsace-Lorraine originally belonged to France. Write that down, Secretary.
Alsace-Lorraine returned to France. France to be given control of the Saar area for 15 years, including all coal mines.
We cannot lose the Saar. How will Germany be able to fuel her economy without coal? I don't know how we're going to be able to survive all of these economic setbacks.
We must be certain that France doesn't get too much power either.
I agree. Let's not give Clemenceau any more territory.
Voglio solo terra.
Shut up, Orlando!
He doesn't even speak English. Rubbish negotiator.
Let's take a little break.
It's time to turn back the clock.
What do you mean?
I mean that I want to restore Germany to how it was before the war. We already agreed to redistribute their colonies, and I think we should take over some of their domestic industries too. That'll prevent them from having a strong war economy again.
Aren't the reparations of 132 billion marks enough to cripple their economy?
Extra, extra, read all about it. Hyperinflation continues. Jews blamed for economic instability.
The Jews were responsible for our economic problems. We must get rid of them. After what France has suffered, no punishment for Germany is enough. Revenge!
Well, I really think we should focus on rebuilding Europe instead. We've done enough to Germany already. May I see? Alsace-Lorraine and Saar given to France, Rhineland, and Rhineland demilitarized, Army and Navy restricted, war reparations, colonies taken away. That seems good to me.
Wait, one more thing. I want Germany to take full responsibility for their actions. The treaty must name them as the instigators of the war.
Yes, Article 231 should be a war guilt clause. Let the world know who is at fault.
Fine, but that's it.
Here are some pierogies. It's almost lunchtime.
Thank you. That reminds me, what should we do about Poland?
We should give it access to the sea so it can properly develop as an independent country.
I agree.
I have an idea. We should give Poland a corridor of land that reaches the sea. And that will also serve to divide and weaken Germany.
I think that's a great idea. And we can make the city of Danzig independent to protect it from Polish and German tensions. Add to the treaty.
We will take back this land and reunite Germany once and for all. Let the invasion of Poland begin.
Sto partendo.
Got a pretty good thing going on here, this inter-allied cooperation. What do you think about continuing our alliance?
Why would you need one?
If we're not going to completely destroy the German Empire, then France must have some assurance of international support in case of a future war. We cannot tolerate another invasion.
Well, we didn't let you shrink Germany itself, so I guess it seems reasonable enough. However, we only helped you in the event of a German attack.
I agree. I'll have to make sure Congress approves it, though.
Excellent.
Both of the votes are in. The Anglo-American-French Guarantee Treaty is vetoed, and the U.S. will not be joining the League of Nations.
Well, how is the League gonna be effective without the U.S., Germany, or Russia in it? Oh my God, I can't believe we're gonna do this. Ridiculous isolationist policies and party politics. No. Okay. Very well. It appears that we are almost ready to finalize the terms of the treaty.
Wait, one more thing. What are we going to do about Russia?
What do you mean?
They had a revolution recently. I want to be sure that none of the Bolshevik nonsense infects the rest of Europe. We need some states to block their influence.
Ah, a cordon sanitaire.
Exactly. We can create some smaller countries to border Russia. Let's see. If we redraw the border there and split that country and combine all those random ethnic groups, we can make a bunch of smaller countries. The cordon sanitaire will be made up of Finland, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, Romania, and the Ukraine.
All right, gentlemen, I do believe we are ready to sign. Secretary, call the German delegates and have them report to Versailles immediately.
As a foreign minister of Germany, I cannot sign this treaty in good conscience. It is a violation of honor.
I would rather resign from my position as Chancellor than sign this murderous plan.
I represent the Weimar Republic and will sign the treaty if only to prevent the renewal of hostilities.
Down with the Weimar Republic!
They betrayed Germany by signing the diktat.
Very good. All I need is the Senate's approval.
Proven unable to gain a two-thirds coalition to support the ratification of the Treaty of Versailles. It will not be passed.
Excellent work, gentlemen. We'll meet in the fall to discuss a treaty with Austria. Hello, gentlemen. It's good to see you again.
Likewise. Well, let's get to it. Hopefully, this will be easier than dealing with the Treaty of Versailles. 6 months of negotiations was a long time.
Yes, I quite agree. This should be straightforward. I believe the most important thing to discuss is the dissolution of the Austro-Hungarian Empire.
Empire to be dissolved and replaced by a Republic of Austria and smaller states including Hungary, Czechoslovakia, Yugoslavia, and Poland.
Filthy Germans.
Inferior Czechs. We should guarantee self-determination to these states and spread democracy.
Better not.
Yeah, I don't think that's practical right now.
But
Let's move on, What about reparations and war guilt?
Yes to both. Austria-Hungary played a significant role in the war, and should have paid for their actions. Add that to the treaty, Secretary.
I think that we should include a clause to prohibit Austria from uniting with Germany. The creation of an Austro-German empire would severely damage the balance of power in Europe.
I quite agree. Article 88 will require Austria to retain independence. The loss of land will damage Austria's economy beyond repair. Our only hope is Angela's reunion with Germany. But what can we do? We are barely a nation anymore.
The time has come for Anschluss with Austria. We will reunite with our brothers and form a greater German empire.
Oh, and before I forget, we should probably give Italy some land so that the Treaty of London isn't completely violated.
I think we still have South Tyrol left over, but we can't give them Fiume.
That'll do.
La Italia è stato truffato.
Really? He left again?
It doesn't matter. We're almost done and ready to sign. Secretary?
On this day, September 10th, 1919, the Allied countries, etc., etc., etc.
Sounds good. Let's sign.
Vorrei sentirti ogni tanto e voglio sapere veramente come sei, dimenticandomi del resto. Fino all'altro ieri quando mi lasciavi solo, se tornavi a casa mi portavi un regalo e io mi consolavo e tu un po'